8:43 as we check out that live shot from the Century Plaza Hotel and Spa on Burrard Street. Welcome to the BT Kitchen. Welcome back, Ned.
Thank you very much. I'm happy to be here.
So moments ago, I do want to just go over what kind of unusual vegetable this is.
Well, you know, last night I was in the grocery store and I was shopping, and I love walking through the grocery store and looking for things that I don't normally buy. And of course, you know, we're creatures of habit, right? When we go to the grocery store, we're always buying broccoli and chicken. You know what I'm saying?
Potatoes.
Yeah, and that's cool because, of course, we all like to eat similar things, but I like to challenge people to think a little bit outside of the box, to start looking at the tops of green onions as like, what am I going to do with that? Can I make some sort of a sauce with it? The tops of beets, like the entire vegetable, right? And part of the entire vegetable part of using the entire vegetable, of course, is having the right tools to be able to break those things down in an effective and efficient way in the kitchen.
I have learned something about you in the last few minutes as we prepared for this. You have a passion for knives.
I have a passion for knives.
Tell us about the knives you brought and maybe a little bit of that history from Japan.
Absolutely. Well, you know, as a chef, you know, the tools that I use are so crucial to the success of myself in the kitchen and my teams. And, you know, whether I'm at home or whether I'm in the professional kitchen, I'm always looking for tools that are optimum in their ability to do with what I need them to do. So these are great knives. Now, I wanted to discuss sort of the difference in quality and the difference in price. Now, when you pick a great knife, you have to make sure, first and foremost, that it feels great in your hand, right? So when you pick up a knife like this, if you want to hold that, that's
pretty light.
Pretty light, right? And so this is entry-level knives. These are great quality global knives.
About $100.
These are about $100. This then is a German knife, about $200, and so you can start to feel
it gets heavier.
It gets a little bit heavier, but then you start to get into the really high quality Japanese knives. These are called Miyabis, and they start to feel slightly different.
And
right?
You start to feel more decorative, and so maybe spending more money.
A little more decorative, absolutely. The beauty of a blade, of course, is really important because, you know, it's part of your repertoire, part of your weapons in the kitchen, so to speak, that make you successful. For me, as a chef, this is the knife that I love to use. This is a knife designer out of Seattle, a guy by the name of Bob Kramer, but this is a $500 knife.
Wow.
Right? So I'm going to use the $500 knife. Maybe at home, I'm not going to use the $500 knife because I, you know, might not want to spend that much money on a great blade. I'm going to use the $100 knife. Now, the most important thing when it comes to knives, you have to take care of them, right? You're going to cut yourself less with a really sharp knife. So tomorrow night at Cook Culture, we have this great knife skills class. And knife skills is really the foundation of great food, begins with technique, right? So if you think about,
I thought you were just going to say, don't put it in the dishwasher.
Well, yeah, absolutely. If you have a great knife and you spent $100 or $500 on that knife, please don't put it in the dishwasher. Make sure you're taking care of it. The great thing about taking care of knives is if you don't have the time or the ability to sharpen them properly, you can bring them to your local knife store. In fact, Cook Culture sharpens your knives for free. So if you buy a great knife, of course, you can take it to them and get it sharpened professionally a couple of times a year, depending on how much you use it. Now,
Ned, I'm itching to actually cut something.
Okay, so this is a kohlrabi. This is a cabbage family, but we're actually going to play with the chayote squash. So this is similar to a cucumber or a zucchini. Now, you're going to follow along. The first thing I like to do is take the top and the bottom off.
I'm using my left hand because you're left-handed.
Sorry, I'm left-handed. So
I was like, wow, this feels really strange.
Yeah, you're going to have a hard time if you have to all of a sudden start to chop.
Real quick, let's get to some cutting.
The important thing is you want to make sure that you're in control of your cutting board, you're in control of your knife, and you're in control of the vegetable that you're using. So it's really about making definite, sharp cuts so that you can make sure that you're not putting yourself at risk or your fingers at risk. So we took out the little seed in the middle. You start to see the beauty of this vegetable. I mean, viewers at home, when's the last time you bought a chayote squash? This,
I've never
dipped in a little bit of salt with some chili flakes. Oh my gosh, it will change your life. It's amazing.
Can we just get one more hot tip for you before we wrap things up? And that is just how to hold the knife.
Absolutely. So I brought you a little cheat knife here too. If you, oh, there we go. So this is a knife that my son Max uses at home because you have a little finger like that, and it helps you with what's called the pinch grip. So you can see how I'm holding the blade. So when you have a knife like this, you actually want to grab the base of the knife so that you're in control of the blade, right? pinch grip like this, so that when I'm rocking the knife, I'm in control of it. You don't want to hold it like this, because then you're not in control of it. The knife slips, you cut yourself, etc.
Great,
so,
Ned. Happy cutting, everyone. Thank you so much for these hot tips. See that? We never got to that.
See, yeah, this is
bend the fingers. Bend the fingers.
Bend the fingers, curl back, slice like so.
Take the class
everything.
at Cook Culture, and all the best with your cooking skills. 8:48. BT continues after this with your weather forecast and more Russ Legate.